Hello, Milo. How you doing? No, no, no bonk. Hold on. Hold on. That was my bad. Hold up. Hold up. Hello, rabbit. Hold on. Bonk. There you go. How you doing, rabbit? I'm eating dinner. So I'm trying not to make disgusting chewing noises into the mic. If you want some, it's a chicken fajita. You loud? Okay. F me, I guess, man. I'm trying my best. You're not that loud. I think Rabbit's like, referring to my eating sounds. I think my eating sounds might be loud. I'm trying my best, man. Hi, heroic, though. Dude, it's like not even showing up on the mic. What are you talking about? Made me self-conscious and everything. What the? Sorry, I need you to know that every time you send that message, it doesn't go through. Like, I hope you know that. Like, I see it, and I think it's funny, but like, but no one else does. SCP-097 has breached containment. Which SCP is that? Guys, I'm so excited to talk about SCPs. Today, I was, like, trying to figure out what I could do, because, like, we finished Killer Frequency, there wasn't really any games I wanted to play, I'm a little bit tired. I Bestie said, hey, hello, Milo's bestie. I'll still through dinner, go get some food. You're awake now. Like, if you're hungry, go eat. L? Imagine playing Roblox, couldn't be me. Your blood if you let me, baby. No, your mom. What? I'm here. I'm a little bit sick right now because of the hot season. I'm stuck in the bedroom. The AC's on the max setting. Ugh. Yeah, Terry, I feel that. I have to work outside, and it's been like the hottest it's been like ever. Um, but I think my body is doing like the really weird thing where it's like overcompensating. So I'm like actually kind of cold right now, which is like not great, but I'm gonna tell my mom. Sorry, I'm gonna tell my mom on you. I'm, where everyone is asleep, I'll definitely wake someone up if I get food. But Heroic, you are hungry. Hello, bunny! Yeah, it's SCP time, let's go! I want to see mom tier? No. I'm getting chills all the time, which is resulting in almost baking myself in the blankets. Feel that. Let's have orders from the 05 cancer for you. Ahem. Hello there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I had fish patties for dinner. Okay, as someone who doesn't really like fish, that sounds disgusting. Yay! I'm glad you didn't drown, bunny. It's good it's tuna? Oh, I especially hate tuna. Like, literally the only fish that I can, like, eat is, like, salmon, and that's it. Let me, baby, drain you of your love until you hate me. I could drink you drawn, lips turn blue. Help me of your love if you want me to. Oh, we love Will Wood. Will Wood is so cool and swag. Very conflicting emotions. I'm so sorry. I don't know why you hate me, Bunny. I'm not even a he, him. What have I done? Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I need to put lip chap on. So, guys, fun fact. What does that mean? So, I was told I'm getting a mint. By the way, guys, I'm not, like, just doing drugs on stream. They are mints. Oh, Cherry, as an insult. Okay. Hi, Cherry. So I was told on Tuesday, because I had Monday off, that I had to work on Friday. So, like, I'm not, like, super excited about working on Friday, which is tomorrow. But I didn't want to miss Spooky Thursday, even though that I am working. We've received information about you attempting to bring the SCP Foundation to light, which we strictly forbid. This henceforth we send a security agent to give you this message. Ah. Excellent. Anyway, so I didn't know what I wanted to do today because I'm kind of sleepy. So I've decided on this. We're gonna do SCPs. I have never actually talked about SCPs on my stream. Mischief has on theirs, and I was a guest on there. But I've never actually done SCPs on my stream. So I'm gonna assume you guys know nothing, even though you guys clearly know what's going on. And I think, so, like, there's this guy on YouTube, called Volgun. He does amazing, videos on SCPs. Yeah, I couldn't imagine Star. That'd be really weird if you did something like that. Don't know why you're telling Tisha about it. Yeah, he does really amazing videos on SCPs. Like, he reads, like, the stuff from, like, the, yes, Bunny. Yes, Bunny. Yes, Bunny. Yes, Bunny. Yes. You're like SCP-173 because I wouldn't break eye contact with you. Okay. Okay. So anyway, this guy, as, like, his video trailer, has an SCP Explained, a modern introduction to the SCP Foundation, which was posted 5 years ago, so that's fun. But from what I gathered, it's, like, kind of like, this is what the SCP Foundation is like, here you go. And then if we get through it, because it's like half an hour long, if we get through it, we'll listen to, a few SCPs. Or, I mean, if everyone here is kind of, like, already knows what an SCP is, and I don't really have to explain, we can just go to his most recent videos. Because, I'm gonna be real, the Static Tower looks pretty cool. Hello, Baked Bean, how you doing? I mean, there's a high-quality Roblox game on SCP, try it. Its name is Area 02. Well, I don't play Roblox, so... Static Tower is overrated? I don't care, man. It's just a new video. It was made 2 weeks ago, so I'm kind of interested in it, you know? One's called The Fifth Gate. That's fun. The Ancient Prophecy. The Basement Cat. You know what? It kind of seems like everyone here kind of, like, understands what SCPs are. Ooh! Uh-oh. 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 It's a name that I might not be able to pronounce. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Kanandi Hana? Hello. Thank you so much for the follow. If I pronounce your name completely wrong, I'm really sorry. I'm very dyslexic. How about we go back to my place and practice procedure? What are you talking about, buddy? But Barushka. Chimpy, what are you doing to me? Why would you change it up? Why would you do that? I got food? Excellent. Those docs on the Minecraft server? Yeah, actually though, how? Did someone get your IP or something? Like, what's happening? Betsy's watching the stream. Excellent. I have a limited understanding what an SCP is. Okay, I'll explain it. Hackers? I'm so sorry. Nick goes, hello! Okay, let me explain really quickly what an SCP is. We don't have to watch, like, the half an hour, like, intro video. You guys will get it pretty quickly. So an SCP. An SCP, it's a part of a fictional universe, okay? So they're not real. They don't exist. But basically, the concept of an SCP is that it's like the internet's collective story. So basically, there are monsters. There's a bunch of monsters, and people will make up the monsters, and then they'll submit it to like the SCP Foundation, that is like an internet like archive thing, and then the people will be like, yeah, this is a good story, and then they'll put it on their website. In the game itself, so like in the universe of the SCPs, what SCPs are they are anomalies. They are things that do not coincide with how we understand reality. And so they're usually monsters or they're phenomena. SCP stands for Secure, Contain, Protect. That is what the Foundation's like goal is. So they try to get these monsters and creatures and contain, like, you know, secure, contain, and protect them. So for example, one of the most popular ones is SCP-173. SCP-173 is an amalgamation of like concrete and rusted metal that you have to keep eye contact with, otherwise it will kill you. But no one has ever seen it move. So it's stuff like that. There's a ranking system of how dangerous an SCP is. So there is like ones that are like safe. They're completely safe. They just are weird. So like there's some that are like, some that would be something like, oh, it like changes your eye color, which is weird, but it's considered safe. And then I forget what the actual like leveling of it is, but it's like safe. And then there's something else, Euclid, and then Cater. And Cater is like, this thing could destroy the universe. Like, that's kind of the scale of things. There is a whole foundation that keeps track of this. But I 4BMs and I live on a military base. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Because you got long to communism. What the F? I think it was the goopy thing. Yeah. Keter? Not Cater? Okay, Keter. There you go. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. There's the SCP Foundation. SCP Foundation is like, you know, the secret company that keeps these things in order. The world of SCPs doesn't know that they exist, only the Foundation does. And there are scientists that have different, like, ranks. You'll hear a lot of D rank. D rank is usually, like, prisoners that get donated to the SCP Foundation to experiment with the SCP. So they experiment with these things. And, yeah. And generally, how SCPs are, like, done on this, is that someone will write a story of one of these creatures, and then, you can just, like, go on the SCP Foundation website and look at them. Like, so I will actually show you guys what that kind of, like, looks like. Hold on, let me get to the SCP Foundation site first. Is it this website? Yes, okay, cool. Hello, I'm writing an essay, but English isn't my first language, so I'm totally failing my summer essay. No! I mean, okay, well, I hope I am a good study buddy. I hope you don't fail. I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. SCP, Bunny's hyperfixation. Excellent. Okay, so they got their classes safe, aloof, indicator, and there is neutralize. Okay, there we go. Those are the three ones. People know more than me. It's been a long time since I've actually been, like, super into this. But anyways, this is the website. And so you could do stuff like, I don't know, know. So, like, they're just, like... I think this might actually be the Wikipedia rather than the site itself. Hold on. I think this is the website. It's getting there, guys. It's loading. It's trying its best. Imagine running a cult? Yeah, that'd be wild. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is the site. This looks it. Access database. Look at that. Enter credentials. I don't have any of those. Can I just go? Oh, maybe this isn't the site that I want. Guys, I'm losing my mind. I just know there's a random button. I want to click the random button. I want to show you guys the random button. I mean, someone walks in my room, it's gonna be awkward. Uh-oh. Oh, dude doesn't have credentials? What the? I think it just wants you to put your username in there. There we go. Random page. You click there we go. This is what we wanted. Private content? Oh, it's because I'm not logged in. Hold on, let's try this again. Let's try random page again. Give me a random page that I can actually read, please. There we go. Okay, so it looked like something like this. So it'd be like, hey, look, this is the item, and these are the warnings, and then it will, like, give you these things, and it will tell you, like, hey, this is what it does, and these, like, mean things. Where they, like, oh, it can, like, you know, read your mind and stuff. And then it will tell you, like, a story. That's, like, a really, really quick version of, like, how SCPs, like, work. So, like, there's stuff like this where, like, this is, like, its containment class, but then it will also kind of, like, tell you, like, how dangerous it is. If you don't mind me asking, what are your pronouns? They, them, or it's. Whichever. But yeah, anyways, that's how it works. We're gonna go to this guy's channel, and he's gonna read us some stories. This one looked really interesting to me. It's, like, one of his newest ones. He finally got to 1 million, like, subscribers, so that's really cool. So we're gonna watch this one. He has a really good reading voice. He does, like, some really cool stuff. If he says something that I'm kind of like, maybe people don't know what that is, I will explain it. But other than that, it should be good. Yeah. Look at that. Okay,
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller.
Oh, it's at 2 times speed because I'm a crazy person and was watching YouTube videos at 2 times speed. Try to get... Uh-oh. Oh, the roses are dead. Beans! Now, why would it do that? Why would it go full screen and then do that? Soup. I don't recognize that person's name. Oh! Because it's a new person. Hello! Now, how would you pronounce this name? Is it just Connor, but with a G? Man, the dyslexia is, like, really not helping today. Anyways, here we go. Subtitle. No, you don't need subtitles because it'll be on the screen anyway. Look at this guy. Not your name.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-84.
Guys, it's Dr. Miller.
Object Class, Euclid.
Look at that.
Special Containment Procedures. SCP-84 is currently under a full non-interaction order until the full extent of the emission waves has been evaluated. For detailed documentation on general FNI orders, see Document XRG 1182. For detailed documentation on FNI orders in relation to SCP-84, see Document XRG 1208A. A continuous
if I explain SCPs badly, because I feel like I kind of did, know that you will get it by just watching videos like this. So, like, if you're a little bit confused still, like, trust, by watching videos like this, you'll be like, okay, I get it. It's a bunch of horror stories, but they all center kind of around
The surveillance watch is to be maintained around the active area of SCP-84 with the primary objective of civilian misdirection and external surveillance.
That guy's body doesn't
with
look
no
too
major
good.
roads,
Like, his leg
trails,
is like...
or other travel routes nearby, any civilians encountered approaching SCP-84 are to be deemed suspect and detained for evaluation. Under no circumstances are any Foundation or civilian personnel allowed into the active area of SCP-84, except with express vocal and written permission of no fewer than 2 members of O5 Command.
O5 Command are the people who made the Federation, or the Foundation, I guess. Can't see the leg? I know, that's why I pointed at it and said it was behind my camera. Like, it's right here. But, like, where's his other... Yeah, of course he's effing dead, bro. Like, where's his other leg?
These are to maintain their posted position with line-of-sight contact checks on fellow sentries, in conjunction with compass and landmark checking. All reference points should be well outside the active area of SCP-84.
Yeah,
Should
of course
any
he's effing
sentry
dead.
fail to report in via vocal roll call, full recall orders will be issued to all sentries, and containment will be re-evaluated by special response teams. In the event of active area fluctuation, full recall orders are to be assumed by all active sentries, followed by appropriate action. No form of radio, GPS, television, cell phone, video camera, still picture camera, or any other recording or electronic media devices are permitted within 100 meters of the active area around SCP-84. Civilians found with such devices within this area are to have said devices confiscated and destroyed immediately. Any recordings collected. Description. SCP-84 appears to be a large radio tower positioned in the center of a large open field with 2 small outbuildings.
Large radio tower, let's go.
Direct observation and sample collection from SCP-84 is impossible due to the effect that is emitted around or from SCP-84. SCP-84 appears to emit a form of wave or radiation that has a detrimental effect on local space-time or reality. The most pronounced aspect of this is the alteration of local space-time within the active area of SCP-84.
I do know this SCP!
Externally, the active area forms a rough dome shape of 200 meters in diameter. SCP-84 appears inside this area at random points, appearing to jump at random...
You do know I'm lip-syncing, right, Star? Like I'm not actually saying the words out loud? Like that it's a voice. Do you know I don't care? Then why are you spreading lies? It really doesn't count. It's like this. It would be like saying me quoting someone swearing, like writing down somewhere that and quoting someone swearing would count. It really doesn't. I don't know why you guys are so obsessed with me swearing. My friends think that SP aren't real. They are, loser. Nick, I have some bad news for you.
Sometimes even appearing in multiple locations at once.
It really doesn't, though. Okay, guys. It doesn't, though. I'm literally lip-syncing. I'm not even saying the words out loud. I don't think you guys know this, but when people record TikToks, they're not saying the words. It is complete dead silent when people record TikToks. Like, no, that's not how that works, Star. And if you guys really wanted to hear me actually swear, I do a podcast where my character does actually swear. So, I don't know why you guys are bringing, like, TikToks that I made literally 3 years ago.
Inside the active area, Internally, the space appears to be unlimited, with SCP-84 at the center.
You lazy look on the podcast?
SCP-84 is impossible to reach due to the
Then don't
emitted
bring up
effect.
my old TikToks.
Attempts to approach SCP-84 within the active area have returned the observation that SCP-84 retains its relative position on the horizon, even after 3 months and 12 days of dedicated, direct travel both by vehicle and on foot. Termination tests have proved impossible, as no means of destruction are
Star, the way that I can tell that you haven't been here for very long is that yeah. Guys, it's almost like I'm 26 years old and I'm like a full adult. And I can do whatever I want. I'm gonna move chat because it's in an inconvenient place. You guys cannot read what's on the screen. I'm gonna put you guys underneath my camera. I'm gonna continue watching this video, and if any chat messages are about me swearing and any other thing, or you guys wanting me to swear, I'm gonna ignore them. From now on, actually. Because I find them quite annoying, actually.
capable of physically reaching SCP-84, even when entered from outside the active area. Local space will also distort periodically. This will cause relative distances to randomly extend or contract in a flicker, causing buildings or objects to suddenly jump thousands of meters away or rush up to other points, sometimes even causing overlaps. These overlaps have a markedly detrimental effect on living tissue. The town of is
now hold on a second. I was paying attention to chat way too much, and I have actually no idea what's going on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to restart this, because I have no idea what's going on.
No form of radio, GPS, television, cell phone, video camera, still picture camera, or any other recording or electronic media devices are permitted within 100 meters of the active area around SCP-84. Civilians found with such devices within this area are to have said devices confiscated and destroyed immediately. Any recordings collected. Description: SCP-84 appears to be a large radio tower positioned in the center of a large open field with two small outbuildings. Direct observation and sample collection from SCP-84 is impossible due to the effect that
Well, now, do you know how many feet are in a meter? Yeah, it is 300.
That is emitted around or from SCP-84. SCP-84 appears to emit a form of wave or radiation that has a detrimental effect on local space-time or reality. The most pronounced aspect of this is the alteration of local space-time within the active area of SCP-84. Externally, the active area forms a rough dome shape of 200 meters in diameter. SCP-84 appears inside this area at random points, appearing to jump at random times, sometimes even appearing in multiple locations at once inside the active area. Internally, the space appears to be unlimited, with SCP-84 at the center. SCP-84 is impossible to reach due to the emitted effect. Attempts to approach SCP-84 within the active area have returned the observation that SCP-84 retains its relative position on the horizon, even after 3 months and 12 days of dedicated, direct travel both by vehicle and on foot. Yikes. Termination tests have proved impossible, as no means of destruction are capable of physically reaching SCP-84, even when entered from outside the active area. Local space will also distort periodically. This will cause relative distances to randomly extend or contract in a flicker, causing buildings or objects to suddenly jump thousands of meters away or rush up to other points, sometimes even causing overlaps. These overlaps have a markedly detrimental effect on living tissue. The town of is assumed to have been situated in or...
We're watching SCP videos. It's me, Bake. Hello. We're watching SCP videos. This one's called the Static Tower.
Or around the original manifestation of the active area. This town is no longer observable from outside the active area, appearing only once inside the active area.
Now why'd you do that? You've confused me now.
Has maintained the same population, 343 humans, for the duration of its encapsulation. Births appear to be impossible, along with normal aging patterns. And/or homicide appears to be circumvented by the area of effect, with dead subjects flickering and appearing alive and unharmed several seconds after death.
That's horrific.
There are also reports of events rewinding, causing things like mortal wounds to visibly freeze and close. Subjects appear to exhibit many events of inconsistent spacetime, as do most structures. For detailed observations, see log 84.
So, like, the humans, like, understand they're, like, basically in a perpetual, like, state of not aging. I just need to get rid of all my account name, all my accounts names beans. Why?
A4. Electronic devices and recording equipment do not function.
Honestly, I think it's just like a stock photo of some random guy in a suit, so probably not.
Correctly in or around the active area. Subjects report bizarre or unsettling transmissions from video and audio recording and playback devices.
Okay.
This acts to totally isolate from the outside world, precluding any need for Foundation enacted containment. It also appears in
the Foundation was kind of like, yeah, it kind of like contained itself. I'm 70 points away from 4K. Yo. So we don't really have to do anything. So like our job here is kind of like done. So I think, you know,
it's impossible to leave the active area after a random period of time. One subject found on the grass plain, see log 84A4, reported he had been traveling for 6 years. He was found approximately 400 meters from city limits. Log 84A4. Record of observed anomalous events relating to SCP-84. Detailed observation made of the grass plain, making up the majority of the active area. The plain appears to be made of one 10-meter by 10-meter section of grass repeated endlessly to make up the plain. Sections appear to be randomly rotated as they are formed, causing sections of grass and small ground variations to line up incorrectly. Few non-human organisms appear to exist within the active area. Those outside the active area avoid it.
So it's kind of like... Actually... That's kind of like okay, so like how they explain with like the 10 by 10 like grass, but like sometimes they don't line up. That would be like really disturbing to see in real life.
To vanish shortly after entering. Animals observed inside the active area appear normal but behave strangely. Shuddering movements, sudden shivering, repetitive loops, and other abnormal actions appear to indicate these may not be actual animals. Animals appear to flicker and vanish after 3 to 4 hours. Vocal communication is difficult within the active area. Vocal communication appears normal within 5 meters of the speaking subject, with reports of a slightly muffled quality reported commonly. Outside of 5 meters, subjects appear to be speaking from a great distance with a great deal of echoing. Reports of speech being heard several seconds after the subject has stopped speaking, and speech occurring with no subject speaking are also not uncommon. Detailed observation of the radio tower is impossible due to the inability to physically reach it, and the effect of the broadcast on most observational equipment. Basic telescope or binoculars systems show the tower to be hazy and static fogged, while more advanced equipment is subject to the anomalous broadcast effect. Weather patterns as well as...
This would cause me to hallucinate, not gonna lie. It actively makes you hallucinate.
Basic day-night cycles appear to be totally
That's like
random.
the whole point.
Overhead sky will randomly cycle between day, night, clear, and other weather patterns. Relative sun and cloud position appear random as well, with frequent flickering and blurring between different states. Physical alteration or damage to anything within the active area is impossible. Actions such as digging, demolition and new constructions will suddenly blur and be reset to their previous unaltered state at random points. Subjects inside a reset structure, such as inside a hole, will become instantly trapped and fused.
Oh my god.
Humans in the active area around SCP-84 exhibit some of the more striking and easily observed reality distortion effects.
Jesus.
These include sudden blurring of limbs or head, appearing to suddenly gyrate at violently high speeds for several seconds before ending. Subjects experience no pain and are often unaware of this phenomenon.
Cool.
Looping, typically manifested as the repeating of 8 to 20 seconds of time. Subjects will go through an action, for example, exiting a doorway, picking up an article of clothing, then suddenly freeze and flicker, then return to the original starting position of the loop, and repeat the action.
SCP-482 you should do. I will look if this guy has done it. What is it? That would make my head gyrate at high frequency.
Even if this involves a sudden teleportation of significant distance, rarely subjects appear to become caught in a permanent loop.
Rarely.
Observation and interrogation of subjects in...
This area of space is lagging really hard. Guys, they put too many mods in the Minecraft server. The chunks won't load.
That basic human needs, such as food, water, and sleep, are no longer required after prolonged exposure to the active area.
Oh,
Some
that's
subjects report not having eaten or drank for, they believe, 5 years.
Whoa.
One elderly subject also reports having made 2,110 unsuccessful attempts. Subjects will sometimes be able to pass through solid matter without incident. These periods appear to last for random periods of time and begin and end without warning. Subjects inside solid matter when the period ends will become trapped or fused until the period resumes. One subject reports being trapped below the waist in a wall for 2 years.
Whoa.
Extreme psychological distress is observed after long-term
You think? You think they might be you think they might be experiencing some psychological distress? Because like it's one thing to be like functionally immortal. It's a totally other thing to like, because you have to think in the terms of this world, like, yeah, you're functionally immortal, but you like can do F all. Like, there's nothing you can do in this world. Like, there is nothing to do. Because anything you do will be reset. Not gonna lie, next Thursday you should do the back rooms. Star, I have literally done everything about the back rooms on here. Everything. All of them. All of the things have been done. I've watched every MatPat video on them. I've watched Kane Pixel. I've watched Async Research. I've watched... There was another research one that I watched. I don't remember where it is anymore. The only thing I haven't done is played, like, Escape the Backrooms game. But I'm actually waiting for Liminal to come out. That's so lame. Looks like you're gonna have to go look for some VODs, man. Because they exist.
exposure.
Play the Backrooms in VR? How is that?
Barrier, which is compromised over long-term exposure. Subjects in advanced reception states typically reset after several months.
Ooh.
Recorded transmissions show a slight cycles
I'm gonna
overall,
bully you?
attempting to catalog
Alright,
and
only if you're
record
okay with
these
me bullying you
broadcasts
back.
as
You're not gonna
therefore
like
being
that.
remanded to autonomous systems to preclude any additional loss of Foundation personnel.
Lol.
End log.
That's
Okay.
fun.
I think that about does it for today. Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye.
I got 10 boba drinks for $7 at a local bakery. Ooh. Sounds awesome. Okay, that was a cool one, actually. Okay, so what was the SCP you want me to do? 482. I feel like maybe looking up 482 would be the way to go here. Okay, so it doesn't look like Vloggun has done 482. Just looks like a bunch of teeth. I like your hair? Thank you! I appreciate that. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll and see which one kind of like catches my eye. I mean, like this kind of guys, L is for lemonation. Lemonation? Uncontained / weapon SCP. Ooh, this one looks cool too. Massachusetts welcomes you. Leminations like morning? Oh. It's a weapon though. It's a weapon. It looks cool. Let's do that one. Let's do this one too, because this one looks cool. Let's scroll down for a little bit. Mental condition? Wait. Labnate, not liminate. Is it a straitjacket who change? Wait. Is it a straitjacket who changes with your math? What are you talking about? Wait. Oh, wait. Hold on. Is it a straitjacket who changes with your mental condition? Now, you're gonna have to explain what you mean there, because I have no idea. You should watch some videos by the Octopus Lady. She does marine biology videos and has funny videos and are very educational. That is very cool, Star. Today we are doing SCPs. Yippee! Hello, Squibble. We're doing SCP videos. Paint under the bridge. And it's safe, and it's humanoid. That's always fun. The humanoid safe ones are always interesting. Saying yippee is so yippee of you? Yeah. Because Squibble, that's how Squibble joins the chat, and that's how I welcome them. I did something fun? Ooh! It's a straitjacket that changes with your mental condition. Oh, okay, I understand. I understand. I wasn't yeah, okay, I understand. I get it. There are such some cool ones, man. Like, I just, like, look at some of these, and you're just like, wow, this is dope. This is so cool. Like, some of these look so cool. People come up with such cool concepts for monsters. You know? I've watched this one. This one's it's not as interesting as it looks. Okay, we're gonna do the ones that we have, so we're just gonna do this one first. The humanoid safe ones are just musicians. Real. Last night at 12 a.m. I jumped into the lake fully clothed. It was cold. Ooh, that's fun. Yeah, let's go, Squibble.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-7450. Containment class Esoteric. Secondary class Megado. Disruption class Amida. And risk class Critical. Special containment procedures. SCP-7450 is uncontained. The SCP Foundation in its current iteration no longer possesses the resources or personnel required to contain SCP-7450.
Well, L,
it is unlikely that any third-party paranatural classification and containment organizations would, if they indeed still exist, be capable of containing SCP-7450.
Oh yeah, there used to be, I don't know in the lore if they still exist, but there used to be, like, other competing containment, like, SCP, like, foundations, but they weren't, like, called the SCP Foundation, whatever. I have a whole notebook filled with jellyfish facts. Ooh! For school or just for fun? Yeah, so there used to be, like, other organizations. Some of them were, like, basically, like, an organization that were, like, made to, like, make cults out of them. There was some that, like, wanted to do whatever, you know? The winged creature on the computer looks huggable. I want to hug them.
7450. Due to the critical threat that SCP-7450 poses to sentient life forms, all Foundation personnel are subject to the requirements of the Magog protocol. The full requirements can be found on the Central Foundation data server. The primary tenets are as follows.
Okay.
Number 1. Under no circumstances are any personnel permitted... Is it still light out for you?
Yeah, it's like 7:30, man. This light that you're seeing behind... That's from outside. Wasn't there one they just wanted to kill all the anomalies? Wasn't there one that just wanted to kill all the anomalies? That sounds right. I am the nightmare. Canada is weird. Dude, it's the West Coast. The California is the same.
To leave the confines of their local Foundation site during a transience of SCP-7450. Number 2. Under no circumstances are any personnel permitted to travel to an area that will be in the path of an SCP-7450 transience within 72 hours.
Canada is
Number
cool.
3. Under no circumstances are any personnel permitted to look at or listen to SCP-7450.
That's scary, Emery.
By order of the Foundation Overwatch Administrator, Any personnel found to have purposely or unintentionally violated one of these requirements is subject to summary execution by any other member of the SCP Foundation. Adherence to these requirements is paramount to the successful continuance of the human species. As a result of the Foundation's inability to contain SCP-7450 and the resultant circumstances that arose following its ascension, the SCP Foundation Classification Committee has ruled 3-0 to update SCP-7450's containment designation from the Apollyon class to the Megado class.
It's 7:30. What happened to Spidey? They got banned
to distinguish between entities or anomalies that will inevitably result in the end of the world and those that already have.
Go with a scar over one eye, making it white common. Quackity cosplayer in a scarf that was like really funky. Ooh.
Description. SCP-7450 is the group designation for 4 massive humanoid eigenweapons that ascended to godhood on the 13th of December.
What the F, bro? What is this description? Description. SCP-7450 is the group designation for 4 massive humanoid exoweapons that ascended to godhood on the 13th of December 2028. What does that mean? You know, these weapons, they just ascended to godhood. Just, you know, that's just a thing that you can do. Ascended to godhood.
2028. The ascension of SCP.
Will you be live tomorrow? Probably, but later than usual, because I work tomorrow, so knitting stream tomorrow, but like later. Real, I ascended yesterday. Fair enough.
7450 was predicated by the arrival of the celestial 981 Ajax entity on October 14th, 2025.
That's not too far away.
The end product of the interaction between 981 Ajax and SCP-7450 was the utter annihilation.
I think Goldtier is tired. I did tell you guys I was eepy. What time is later? I said 7. Right after that. But don't you just ascend on a daily basis? I feel like it's something you do once.
Ajax, and immediately following that, the rapid escalation of an XK-class end-of-the-world event caused by the cognitohazardous and catastrophic ontokinetic effects of SCP-7450's
What is happening? Like, they're just like, by the way, guys, the Earth is going to explode. Alright, I'm gonna head out. Have a good night. Or SCP-4419.
Presence on Earth.
We'll see.
SCP-7450 entities range between 18.9 kilometers and 23.5
Oh, we're talking in kilometers. That's
height.
fun.
They
I haven't slept in 29 hours. Go to sleep, man. Oh my god, that's not good for you.
With 6 large avian wings emerging from their upper and lower back.
Okay.
SCP-7450 entities have a single arm and hand on their right side, in which they carry a short, curved sickle. The entities have humanoid legs which terminate at the ankles, and are seemingly incapable of locomotion, instead moving by way of levitation, though the legs do move as if ambulating. Surviving descriptions of SCP-7450 indicate other possible animal characteristics such as claws, feathers on the arm and legs, serpentine tails, etc. They are named in descending order of size: Pallas, Judith, Rachel, and Argine.
Who the F named these characters? Said the godhood already. I'm gonna go to therapy to learn how to not steal everything tomorrow. I'm so happy for you, Cherry. What a thing to have to go to therapy for. I'm so proud of you. Yup. Can we talk about these names though? Like, who named these creatures?
Legs, serpentine tails, etc. They are named in descending order of size: Pallas, Judith, Rachel, and Argine.
Argine.
Accurate depictions of their
Could you imagine being a four-winged angel thing that's 24 kilometers high in the air, and your name is Argine?
Facial features are infeasible to gather. It is
one of them is named Rachel.
impossible to obscure images of the entity's faces to a sufficient degree to allow for visual assessment while also
Palace,
negating
right?
their cognitohazardous.
Yeah, one of them gets to be named like Palace, and then the other ones are called Rachel and Argine. I'm back when my DNS thing wasn't working. Uh-oh. Me, 69 male, my super hot sugar daddy, 91 male, are gonna commit war crimes in Canada. Well, I don't know why you would announce this, Star. That's, like, illegal and stuff. My friend asked me, since when did you I cut them off, or do I make up some weird story? Well, I mean, if you're out to your friend, you can just tell them that you got, like, surgery. I mean, you don't even have to say what surgery you got. You can just say that, like, oh, I got surgery. Loving this kleptomania. Oof. So English went out the window. Kinandi, what is your first language? It's gonna be awkward. What? Yeah, I would just say you got surgery. You don't even have to say it was top surgery. You can just say surgery.
Properties. Similarly, audio recordings of SCP-7450's vocalizations cannot be reviewed by sentient observers. Both human and sentient AI listeners are subject to the cognitohazards present in SCP-7450.
They just casually have sentient AI listening to stuff. May I be the boob gripper? You guys are whack.
50's voice. Since the moment of their ascension, each of the 4 instances of SCP-7450 have been in constant circumnavigatory transience of the planet. Each of the 4 moves at slightly different speeds. Rachel is the fastest, and transits the globe once every 416 days, whereas the slowest, Pallas, completes the passage in 468 days. Sentient creatures exposed to the visage or voice of any instance.
Do they just, like, fly around the planet? Nobody in Ulter's Twitch chat can have my boobs? What? Greek is my first language. Ah, okay, cool. That's a sentence I wish never to say. One of my coworkers is Greek. But I have not learned any Greek from him. See, I just assume when people say that English is not their first language, that Spanish is their first language, because I do have a lot of Spanish speakers in my chat. Look like you got a new camera angle, or you removed the flag. I didn't remove the flag. I think the camera might be just like slightly more this way today. I learned French. Ooh. Tu veux parler en français avec moi si tu veux. Je peux parler en français. Last incredible in Spanish.
Of SCP-7450 will immediately become compelled to follow it in its transit of the planet. Once an individual has been affected, they are unrecoverable. Subjects who fall under the effect of SCP-7450's compulsion will make every possible effort to avoid anything that would impede their ability to join in the mass following of SCP-7450 and cannot be deterred short of total destruction of their body. Affected persons undergo changes over time to their physiology. They cease to age, their bodies become more resistant to damage and decay, and their features slowly begin to resemble the SCP-7450 instance they follow. They will walk behind their instance of SCP-7450 until their feet wear down to their ankles, at which point they will begin levitating alongside other similar subjects. Lastly,
what the F, bro? I'm sorry, man. I can't read that. I'm sorry. There's only 3 languages allowed in the chat, which is English, French, and Spanish. I'm sorry. I don't know what that says. I'm sorry, man.
These subjects mimic the vocalizations of SCP-7450, and while exposure to these vocalizations by non-affected persons does not have the same immediate compulsory effect as SCP-7450, they will nonetheless experience the same end condition after a short period of time. Addendum 7450-1. Foundation Overseer.
What about Morse code? Please don't. Why is Canadian French so not Frenchy? Well, it's different, like, okay, so it's the difference between, like, I would say, like, American English and British English, whereas, yeah, they are the same language, and they can talk to each other, and they use most of the same words for most things, but you would never mistake an American for like, like, someone from, like, a British person of American. Like, you know, you would never mistake the two. And I think the same thing is with, Quebecois French and France French. Is you would they are, yeah, they're different dialects of the same language. Yeah. And also the thing with Quebec French is that it is, by the nature of it being in, like, the rest of the country speaks English, essentially, they do use a lot of English words in their French, like French swears and stuff. It might be because they're in Canada. Dude, I want to go back to Quebec. Oh my god, Quebec is awesome.
Sears address, 11/2/2025.
Ooh.
This is a public notice from the Office of the SCP Foundation Overseer Council regarding the celestial entity appearing over the South Sky on October 14th, 2025.
And now I got the so what is down there. Well, unless that person is, like, your lover or a doctor, they can F off. They don't need to know. Like, they don't, you know? But no, I'm stuck in effing Canada's Texas. Real. I'm so sorry, man. That sucks. Like, literally, Reese, Reese is like, just tell them it's none of their business, because it's not.
Dated November 2nd, 2025.
Good evening. My name is Armand Kachatri, an overseer of the SCP Foundation.
Hello, Armand.
We are an organization that seeks to categorize and contain anomalous entities and phenomena in our world. We have operated in secrecy for the last 200 years, maintaining our world's status quo. As of the night of the 14th, we are no longer able to maintain that veil. The entity that appeared over the southern sky, an entity we have identified as 981 Ajax, is a hostile extraplanar entity currently intersecting with our reality.
Well,
the disaster...
An interplanar entity. I want to go home? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, definitely tell them that it's, like, it's just not a business.
Ongoing in Johannesburg is evident of this entity's catastrophic potential. There have been many questions about the tragic footage that has made the global news these last few weeks, and the person hanging in the sky now over the city. We cannot speak with full certainty of their fate, but they are in our hearts. At this time, we are urging calm and caution. We understand you are afraid. Rest assured, we are currently cooperating with world governments and other organizations like our own to determine the best path forward. We have technology that is not—
I want to fly a plane into Y on the screen, like, into the eye on the screen. Dude, that's like the angel thing.
Unavailable to the rest of mankind, and capabilities beyond what is commonly accepted as feasible. We will, as we always have, stand as the stalwart shield between our world and the unknown. Thank you. Armand Kachatrian, 051.
Addendum 7450-2. Foundation Overseer's address, 12/11/2028.
Okay, that's like 3 years later.
This is a public notice from the Office of the SCP Foundation Overseer Council regarding Ajax. Dated December 11th, 2028.
Oh, that's 2 days before the Ascension.
Over these past 3 years, myself and my predecessors have made every attempt to be as transparent as possible with you about our efforts to defend mankind against the ongoing threat of Ajax. Today, I will do the same.
Could you imagine being in a crisis for 3
will
years?
be our final
That'd be wild.
communication. We have expended every possibility and all of our resources. We have broken up our containment cells and released every possible horror into the world in hopes of balancing the threat of Ajax. We have failed.
What the F, bro? They were like, oh yeah, if we release all the SCPs, surely that will balance out. Surely it will balance out, and then everything would go back to normal. That's, yes.
Ajax will soon open its final eye, and we will not be able to delay it. In
Surely.
truth, we never have. Take this time to be with your families. We have preparations in place that will, God willing, ensure the hopeful survival of our species. These preparations are buried deep within the earth, and may survive the eyes of Ajax. Please pray for their survival, these last 4 mothers of humanity. Someday, they and their children might awaken.
That's why they're named the things that they are. Give it some Taco Bell. Hello, one. Oh, okay, guys. So, like, the weapons are named what they are because they're supposed to be, like, the mothers that keep humanity, whatever. You back? Wait, you back? Okay, the whole chat today, you guys are, like, not spelling in English, and it's messing with me. You back needs to be straighter than you. Your back needs to be straighter than you. See, here's the thing, though. Like, I'm leaning back in my chair. My knee- You guys can't see it, but my knees are up. See? I'm curled up into a little ball on my chair. I can actually even do it better. Hold on. Alright, goodbye, everyone. Good night. It's EP time. You see?
And walk again on an earth free from this nightmare. I wish you all peace.
The same.
Good night.
You and me shaking hands.
R51.
The weapons are about to ascend to godhood. The weapons are about to ascend to godhood. The weapons you put in the middle of the earth are about to ascend to godhood.
Got the news today I've been expecting for a while. Judith ended up far too east and passed over Site 43. I finally got into Site AI and got the same stream of nonsense as the others. It's not cognitohazardous itself, thankfully. I go to Canary to see if the place...
Yeah, thankfully, considering. Yo! The Samsung Fridge official. Hello! Thank you so much for the follow. Now, when we say the Samsung Fridge official, are we, like, just joking about the inherent, like, hilarity of, like, having the name the Samsung Fridge? Or were we a part of a very specific fandom in 2020? I'm just trying to learn English. Man, I think I've had people say that I am not a good person to learn English from, but if you're enjoying the stream, you're more than welcome to try and learn English from me. I think it's a second option. It's pretty funny if it's a second option. Cargo vroom? Yeah. Sometimes the cars on the road are very effing loud. Dream SMP memories, they're back.
This is worth visiting. Didn't sleep well again. I've got Henderson locked up in the cell a floor below me, but sometimes he just starts howling. I need to go change out the gag I had on him. I suspect he's chewed through it.
That's so cool for
Another letter in today from Sophia. Blessings are few and far between, but they're still blessings. Says she's down to just 23, but they're still working. 23. I haven't had 23 in 2 years. She's worried about us. I didn't tell her about Henderson, but I told her it's still too dangerous to come over here. Rachel is crossing in 3...
I almost got kidnapped today. That is a wild thing to just casually bring up into chat. Are you good? Which doesn't make sense because I'm not a kid. You can be kidnapped when you're not a kid. That is a very wild thing to just kind of casually bring up in the chat. Are you like good? Like I'm gonna continue going with this because I want to find out what happens, but you know.
3 weeks and we might catch Judith if she straightens back out. There are still some stragglers up there too. Ones who haven't caught up with the floaters. Maybe in a few months. We'll see.
Am I a ghost? I hope not.
It's agonizing though. It's been a long few months. I thought at first having Henderson's voice would be enough to keep me sane. But since I snipped him, he doesn't sound much like a person anyway. And even then, he's not saying anything that would be a comfort. Just shrieking and gnashing his teeth. Seeing another person would be nice.
What are they talking about right now? I just want to say if... Wait. I just want to say if your name is Lucas, I don't like you. One opinion. Am I a man? Or a Muppet? What happened? We are in space, wearing a VR head shaft. Yes. Wow, you guys are... I can't tell if I'm just too tired to read chat, or if you guys are especially weird today. I'm gonna continue watching SCPs.
6/3/2032. Personal journal. Date 6/3/2032. We're holed up tight this week. Rachel's passing right now. The last week, Henderson has been frothing at the mouth. Probably because she's the one who turned him. I scoped him out a week before last, just to make sure he was still good and tied up in there. Cell was a mess. He got out of his straps at some point and started scratching at the walls. He made decent progress, and he turned his hands into stumps.
Ugh.
Maybe he thinks he'll be floating around on his wrists. Sound cancellation is still holding up. When we lost Site 8, they were about...
I'm just way too dyslexic. I'm anxiety. I think Chad has major spelling issues today. Oh my god, Totary. I wouldn't say stuff like that. Oh my god. First of all, it's like, it's inaccurate and untrue, but also it's like not the best thing to say.
16 meters down, lower than us, and Palace still got all of them. That was a close call. I was on the phone with Harold Bates, and he just starts crying. I threw it across the room, and stayed out of there for a week. When I came back, the phone was still on. Total silence at the other end.
That's fun.
But all this time buried down here has given me time to work. I found another one of the training satellites we used to use. It won't give us much coverage. It's only got 2 working cameras, but we might be able to get eyes on Argine. Haven't seen her since she passed Tokyo last year and went into the ocean. Computer keeps reminding me to check my update requests. Last time there were 8 sites reporting back. I know there are probably more than that, but even thinking about opening that file makes me feel clammy. Need to think about more productive things. I'll check the update requests tomorrow. 6/4/2032.
If some of the angels Taco Bell should take them down. I'm not sure about that.
Personal journal. Date 6/4/2032.
I think there's a lot of places that are still like alive.
Only 3 sites updating. I shouldn't have checked. Rachel is taking her fucking time. 7/29/2032. Personal journal. Date 7/29/2032. I let Henderson out earlier. I don't think there's anything left to learn from him, and he was a nice enough guy. He's got a lot of walking to do until he catches up with one of them, but he seemed happier. Writhing and screaming, but in a more pleasant way. First time I've been outside in a while. It was really nice out. Sun was shining, and it's starting to warm back up again. Sky was mostly
nice.
clear.
That's fun
if
for
I
them.
had to guess, most of whatever was left of Ajax has his atmosphere by now. Might be some left up there, but I didn't see any.
After I came
Sorry,
back
that made me
inside, I
laugh.
just
What
sat
did?
around
The
a little.
Florida?
I've been trying to keep busy, but I don't feel like it today.
Ooh.
Haven't heard from Sophia in a while. Thank God for Alto. Still sending me his daily updates. Picture of his face once a day, every day. Not exciting, but it's something.
Weird. Touch grass? Me? Or the person? Probably the
9/2/2032.
person. He did touch grass.
Personal journal, 9/2/2032. Still nothing from Sophia.
Uh-oh. Sophia might be dead, man.
12/14/2032.
Personal journal. Date 12/14/2032. 4-year anniversary.
Wow.
Nobody responding to update requests anymore. We must be getting near the close. I went back and read the rest of this file. Hilariously abridged. We had such high hopes in the beginning, and then nothing. Planning committees and emails of encouragement. We made it out better than most. That first day they started crying out. We couldn't hear it from so deep underground. 64 sites. 47,000 personnel.
Whoa.
Why did it take us so long to learn how to stay alive? We're paying a price for Ajax.
Do you know what doubting rods are? I do. Hello, my favorite blood-haired streamer. Hi, Roy. They're the rods where you hold them like this and then they, like, go when they find water, but they're like bull, but, you know.
Ajax. What's the point of the secrecy now? What's the point of the updates and the status reports? Who's left to read this? I'll tell you what happened. If you're reading this, then you're whoever is left in me. There aren't many of us now, if any at all. Maybe
Guys, we're
you'll
the
be
last
all
ones
done.
left.
In 1996, we buried 4 girls.
Ooh, they're gonna tell us the story of what the things are. An error. And they are also used with ghosts. Oh, interesting. I can spy on my family's Instagram and Facebook pages for fun. That does sound like fun. Florida's still alive, real. I had to carry a bed to my room today and my fingers feel like they're gonna fall off. Ooh. I mean, but now you have a big bed. Alright guys, he's gonna tell us the story of why the F these things exist.
Girls at 4 different deep well sites. A preparation for the end of the world. They'd had a close call with 239 and wanted to make sure they had a contingency plan. This is before we found 2000, so it became moot after that point. The project was more or less scrapped, but they didn't dig those girls up. I wonder sometimes if there was ever a meeting about it, or if they just forgot they were there. Anyway, they were buried under a mountain of sorcery and technology and given wombs that would operate for 1,000 years. For 3 decades they were down there, until Ajax showed up and turned 2000 into a smoking wreck. Suddenly we need another option. And look at that. Kane finds those 4 girls and starts the machines up again, and we have our parachute again. But then Armand tells the entire world about them as he's letting everyone know that we're going to die. All our best laid plans, all our world religions, suddenly only one thing mattered. Mankind had seen us calling real nightmares up from the bowels of the earth. Powers they had never dreamed of, and suddenly we're telling them that it's all over. Except, wait, there are these 4 girls who can save us. What did we think was going to happen? Had we really not learned about what belief does? So they woke up, and that was it. 8 billion humans crying out for a god to save them. 8 billion humans screaming, crying, begging. Our city walls fallen and our idols smashed against the ground. Ajax. I don't even remember what Ajax looked like, to be honest. Preparing to open his last eye, and people were afraid. We lamented our shared fate, and our gods woke up.
Oh, interesting.
But they weren't built to be divine. They didn't know what was going to happen to them. The Foundation found them on a street corner somewhere, cleaned them up, put $10 billion of tech into them, and then sent them to bed. When they woke up, they were gods.
They were 13 years old.
Oh my god.
8 hours. We had 8 hours, Alto. 8 hours to plan before Payless cracked open her mouth and began screaming. Were they scared too? Were they afraid of what they'd become? Their first action...
Guys, everything makes much more sense now. I understand what's happening. Breaking news, Spider-Man killed one of the anomalies. Real. SCP, mine is 096 or 382. What are those two? Like, what do they, like, what are their names besides their, numbers? I miss you, now I can't leave. Uh-oh. My favorite is, I don't remember its number, and I don't remember its actual name, but I remember what it does. It is the one where, people are, they go into this warehouse, and then there's, like, a whole effing game show in the warehouse, and then they go through this game show, and then the winner gets whatever the F they want, if there is a winner, and then a VHS tape pops out of it. And you can watch the VHS tape, and it's what happened in the game show. What is the name of the SCP numbers? I don't know, man. Guys, this is actually extremely interesting.
I'm sure of it. Ajax came at them and they scattered it across the atmosphere. Their next
You're talking about SCP-024, am I?
Gods need worship and worshippers. It didn't take long. They blew through our cognito-hazard defenses in seconds, like rice paper before a blowtorch. And now it's been 4 years. Half of us we lost to the sisters, another third to exhaustion. Tired, scared, defeated. They would put
Game show
down
of
their
death?
work,
That sounds right.
walk out the door, and then wait for a sister to come calling. I don't know what the point of this was. I don't know what we accomplished here. Did we succeed in our mission? Did we plan enough? Do we still have work to do? Did we ensure the survival of our species?
What is that?
I don't know. I'm tired too. We wept when skies opened up and Ajax opened its first eye. And all the eyes afterwards. We lamented our grim misfortune and prayed for an end to our suffering. Why haven't I gotten the message yet? There's nobody left to lament but me.
9/1/2035.
Ooh, okay, so that's like 2 years later. Dang. No, I know something, that can be them. I don't know what that says. We're getting rid of Nox's last baby tomorrow. The others went to a trust pet store. They get taken care of. It's a local one, and he's gonna be the one of my friends. Ooh, awesome.
Personal journal. Date
It's like 2 years later.
9/1/2035. I hope it was easy for you, Sophia. I hope you found something like a new life out there. I won't be far behind.
Oh.
4/19/2036.
Oh, shoot. 3 years later.
Personal journal. Date 4/19/2036.
Dang, man.
My last journal entry. Out of food, and the water doesn't work anymore. Payless is getting close, but I can't wait any longer. I'll die down here if I don't leave. I can make it to Site 89 and then to Site 104.
Can you?
They'll have resources I can use, and maybe research I overlooked. If Payless catches me, then that's the ball game. I'm not willing to give up yet, but I can't wager the survival of our species against goggles that might slip or earplugs that don't work the way they should. I thought burning out my eardrums would be the hard part, but with the benefit of hindsight, I should have foreseen how bad it would be to take my own eyes out.
Whoa.
Hindsight. A dark joke. I never truly appreciated the dark until now. I've spent too much time on this dumb shit to give up now. I don't care.
He effing burned his eardrums out? Bro. What the? Wait. The flip-flop can beat them. And then I'm going to a shelter after that to get a new girl who's gonna either keep her name or name after the culture to keep the theme. I told Ollie, but I named one after them, but I haven't seen them forever. I think they're just busy, man.
It takes a life living in darkness. I'll figure this out. if you ever get around to reading this, Alto, you can kindly go fuck yourself. 2
Lol?
years, you had my heart leaping at the sight of a cardboard cutout. Motherfucker. No time to cry. What?
Oh, shoot. Oh, Alto has been giving updates, and it was a cardboard cutout of, like, some... Oh.
Wish me luck. Troy.
Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed.
Is what I said,
Goodbye.
actual life? Yeah. Yeah. That one was sad. Like, it was cool, but it was sad. Okay, guys, I'm kind of excited for this one, too. This one's gonna be cool. SCP-4419. You haven't told me what it is yet. And I already have a list. This one is the... Massachusetts. So it's like Massachusetts, but it's anyway. Yeah, that.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-4006. Object Class: Thaumiel. Special Containment Procedures. No concrete containment procedures are necessary. Actions taken in regards to SCP-4006 should follow standard protocol of maintaining the veil, Protocol MTV-4006. Description: SCP-4006 is a probabilistic anomaly affecting the state of Massachusetts, United States of America. SCP-4006 works to perpetuate the idea that Massachusetts is a populated state with a government, infrastructure, economy, various population centers, etc. Due to this, the true nature of Massachusetts is entirely unknown to the public.
Oh, this one. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh, this is gonna be good. Hello, Cheese. How are you doing? Ever just sing very well randomly during the day? Yes. Yes. And then you're like, wow, I can't believe I don't have an album yet. And then you realize that and then you realize that you, can't write music. The Butcher's Chariot Eater. Ooh. Maybe. We'll see. I'm good. I'm glad. This one's gonna be cool. Like, from what that guy said, like, the anomaly makes it so that people think that Massachusetts is, like, a normal place. But clearly that's not the reality.
Massachusetts has no history of human occupation. All effects of SCP-4006 are in and of themselves mundane events, though highly improbable. It is the pervasiveness and frequency of these nigh incalculably low probability events and their collaboration to effectively spread misinformation about Massachusetts that earns SCP-4006 anomalous recognition.
Because I write music? Ooh! I'm gonna draw FNAF while watching you. Excellent. Guys, could you imagine listening to this video while in Massachusetts? Could you imagine? You know what's also really funny about this one specifically is that, Welcome to Night Vale also has, like, a thing with Massachusetts being, like, a really weird state. So, like, what is it with Massachusetts and just being, like, a really effing weird state?
Why several SCP Foundation researchers were immune to the effects of SCP-4006 and were able to discover it and subsequently spread the information to others is unclear. To better understand SCP-4006's effects, the following is a heavily abridged early history of Massachusetts.
Oh, this is gonna be amazing.
Massachusetts lacks any tribal presence.
Okay.
Several nations, including Britain, Portugal, Spain, and France, begin to colonize the New World, or the Americas.
Okay.
Britain, knowing of France's plans to claim the northernmost parts of North America, claims to have a colony further north in Jamestown, and names the full colony Plymouth. Due to poor communication, further colonists are led to believe that the land of Massachusetts has already been colonized. Colonists that wish to go to Plymouth inexplicably find themselves landing further south after terrible ocean storms. Such colonists are met with other colonists who believe themselves to be further north and call the area Massachusetts. The fishing industry operates out of Rhode Island.
I have family in Massachusetts and I went there last year and going back later this year.
Though fishing boats are pushed north by southern winds to the coast of Massachusetts, no boats ever land on the beaches, and no human steps foot onto any land in Massachusetts. Rhode Island and Connecticut develop unknowing of the presence of people believing to be within Massachusetts. Colonies use the same land and harvest from the same forests, but never come into direct contact with one another.
Whoa.
Colonists believing to be from Massachusetts, hereafter referred to as SCP-4006-A, and colonists from Connecticut and Rhode Island finally meet, but never explicitly discuss their location. SCP-4006-A assume the others they meet to also believe themselves to be from Massachusetts. Cities establish 2 or more separate governments and assume separate names. People believing themselves to be from one.
Which FNAF 1 animatronics should I draw? Bonnie.
City or another only meet with police forces and only read of the news pertaining to the city identity they believe to be true. The governments of each city never become aware of each other's existence and continue to function independently. The same pattern is established as the—
My sister just told me what 69 means and I'm traumatized. Welcome to the internet. Dun 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 dun. I'm so sorry,
colonies of Rhode Island and Connecticut established governments, while SCP-4006-A believed these governments to be their own governments. English surveillance of each colony is tricked in much the same way, incorrectly assuming they have crossed the border into Massachusetts, and only then encountering SCP-4006-A when discussing regional affairs. It is difficult to assess the history of Massachusetts past this, due to SCP-4006's effects. By 1928, SCP-4006-A spanned the entire East Coast and several northeastern states. Concentrations were and are still highest in Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, and New Jersey. The furthest west that SCP-4006-A have been identified is North Dakota. People believing themselves to be visiting any city in Massachusetts, such as Boston, will actually be in any number of other cities near Massachusetts. Such cities include New York City, Philadelphia, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh. Whenever in a conversation where the name of, trivia about, or landmarks within the city are discussed, people will only encounter others who believe themselves to be in the same city. Note that due to the scale of SCP-4006, only enough effects to communicate the nature of SCP-4006 have been recorded here. For a list of all recorded effects of SCP-4006, contact any personnel of Level 4, 4006 clearance. Addendum 4006-1. Foundation Occupation of Massachusetts.
You could.
SCP-4006's effects make Massachusetts an unusually secure location for Foundation activities. However, while SCP-4006 is currently the most powerful probability-based anomaly within the Foundation's knowledge, purview, and containment, it has been shown to be imperfect, as several Foundation scientists were able to discover the true nature of Massachusetts while researching anomalies they believed to be within Massachusetts. As such, Protocol MTV-4006 has been created. Protocol MTV-4006 is a reminder to all involved with SCP-4006 and those working in sites within Massachusetts. Do not assume that SCP-4006 will keep activity secret. Continue to take all necessary precautions to maintain the veil. In the event that SCP-4006 fails to censor all information about the true nature of Massachusetts. In the name of MTV-4006, the Foundation has allocated several million USD a year towards creating further defenses against the public discovery of the true nature of Massachusetts. Such precautions have included setting up sites at the locations of several supposed cities, Boston, Springfield, etc., and making the sites appear to satellites like normal buildings. Having roads between sites mimic the publicly agreed upon road maps of Massachusetts. For example, the sites between Springfield and Boston use a connecting road that is technically a continuation of Highway 90. and wearing mostly civilian-style clothing while
largest guy
wandering
like seen all
outside of
time.
sites.
Real.
At the time of writing,
It's like actually
all precautions
fascinating
have
to
been
think
wholly unnecessary
if this was true.
as SCP-4006 continues to function as expected. This fact has not diminished the Foundation's dedication to Protocol MTV-4006. Addendum 4006-1. Extension. Continued Foundation occupation of Massachusetts. Sites within Massachusetts have expanded to be the 5 largest Foundation sites. Site 19's function as the largest...
Yo, Site 19 is actually famous. Site 19, like, effing, like, disappeared at some point.
Collection of Foundation Level 5 personnel, site surveyors, HMCL supervisors, etc., as well as the home of the Ethics Committee Board, has now been transferred to Site 4006, based at the supposed location of Boston. Many difficult-to-contain SCP objects, or objects that take up a significant amount of space to contain, have since been moved en masse to Massachusetts. Hundreds of Foundation researchers, staff, and miscellaneous personnel have been migrated to Massachusetts in consequence. In light of this, several developments have been made in the name of Protocol MTV-4006, including an airport has been created by Site 4006 in mimicry of the supposed Logan International Airport, where private Foundation airplanes disguised as commercial flights may make it easier to commute to and from Massachusetts. Plans to create airports in several other locations in Massachusetts have been drafted. Infrastructure mimicking real cities has been implemented to create easy living for those within Massachusetts. All businesses have been placed in locations mimicking online maps of the cities.
SCPs.
A more complex roadway system across Massachusetts to make for easier commute between sites and testing locations. In response to these developments, Project 4006-109, Full Realization of Massachusetts, has been proposed in hopes of creating a functioning state within the United States in which the Foundation alone may operate and accommodate for thousands of personnel. Official implementation of Project 4006-109 would begin in 2 years, if approved. Addendum 4006-2, completion of Project 4006-109, and expanding awareness of SCP-4006. Project 4006-109 has been completed, and the state of Massachusetts recreated from common public misunderstandings of its structure. All major cities and small towns have been created, infrastructure mimicked, housing populated with SCP Foundation personnel, and all major public roads created. The U.S. government has begun to treat the physical location of Massachusetts and its Foundation personnel as true citizens of Massachusetts. SCP Foundation personnel and the U.S. government have implemented a system by which only fellow Foundation personnel within the government ever preside over Massachusetts. This way, the true nature of Massachusetts continues to remain secret, while also allowing the SCP Foundation's recreation of Massachusetts to function as a real state within the United States.
Canada's not real?
Commercial flights have now been seen flying over Massachusetts, and several civilian cars have passed through Massachusetts at various times. In light of this, classified Foundation activities have been further suppressed, and Protocol MTV-4006 has taken even higher precedence. Testing areas above ground have been officially closed off to the public to make certain that civilians passing through do not stumble upon classified materials.
That would be awkward.
Several addenda have been removed due to redundancy and repetition. To view a full list of removed addenda, contact any researcher of Level 4 4006 clearance. Addenda.
Did you know that Mars is actually really cold? I did.
8.
I know a lot about space, so there's not a lot that you can tell me about space that I don't know.
In 2023, it has been found that fewer than 20 people believing themselves to be in Massachusetts...
Oh, whoa, that's this year. In 2023, it has been found that fewer than 20 people believing themselves to be in Massachusetts exist outside of the state of Massachusetts, and those that do not
exist outside of the state of Massachusetts, and that those that do are not under the effects of a probabilistic anomaly such as SCP-4006. Massachusetts is now more populated by normal...
You know that we have a picture of the beginning of the universe? We're gonna be able to get one really, really soon. Like, they haven't done it yet, I don't believe. Oh, or do you mean the background radiation of the universe? Well, did you know that some jellyfish can reverse their life cycle? I did. The immortal jellyfish are some of my, like, favorite animals. It's pretty cool. Like, we have, like, the picture of, like, the background radiation of the universe, which is, like, the static that was created by the Big Bang at the beginning of the universe. But, to be able to see, like, seconds after the Big Bang, we would need a telescope the size of the galaxy. And guess what they figured out how to do? Make a telescope out of the effing galaxy. So before, we could do maybe, like, 100,000 at closest after the Big Bang. And now we can do seconds after the Big Bang, but they haven't actually done it yet. Hello, Ninja.
U.S. citizens than Foundation personnel, while
They're so committed to
Massachusetts
faking
remains the
messages that they
largest
just made it
collection of
real.
SCP Foundation assets, all sites, testing grounds, outposts, and otherwise are hidden and contained. In light of this, 3 motions have been proposed. Reclassify SCP-4006 as neutralized, reclassify SCP-4006 as explained, and keep SCP-4006 as thaumiel. The first motion argues that SCP-4006 no longer quantifiably exists. The second motion argues that while SCP-4006 was a large enough phenomenon to warrant the designation of an SCP object at the time, every individual piece of SCP-4006 was able to be explained by coincidence and science. The third motion has been put forth by the O5
Take the
Council.
moon landing on site. It's like... I just realized what you meant by that, and that's quite funny.
4006. Clearance required. Item number SCP-4006. Object class, thaumiel. Special containment procedures, not applicable. Description. SCP-4006's existence is in and of itself theoretical. Proof of SCP-4006's existence or non-existence has not been concretely gathered, but due to SCP-4006's likelihood to exist and its position as the most powerful probabilistic anomaly in existence if it were to exist, it has been recorded as an SCP object. Evidence for SCP-4006's existence includes the public's ignorance of the true nature of Massachusetts, the public's ignorance of the true nature of the universe, the containment of over 3,000 SCP objects with breaches in secrecy being only temporary, the existence of SCP-2000 and other thaumiel SCP objects, the existence of SCP-3000, and the discovery of amnestic compounds in general at convenient times in the Foundation's history. Earth's dimensions being particularly disconnected and difficult to access from the rest of the multiverse. The non-existence of any powerful groups whose goals include the complete destruction of normalcy. The existence of several powerful groups whose goals include the maintenance of normalcy. The existence of the SCP Foundation. However, due to SCP...
What the F does that mean? They're just like, yeah, this SCP exists because we exist. I'm losing the train. I'm losing the train of thought. I don't understand what's happening. What I do think is that we definitely need to look up what the F SCP-2000 is, because it's happened in 2 SCPs now. Yeah! SCP time! We're learning how Massachusetts isn't real.
Existing, and evidence suggesting that if it does exist, that the SCP Foundation in part perpetuates it, it is best to assume that SCP-4006 does not exist. Allowing the theory of SCP-4006's existence to perpetuate may instill a sense of apathy and meaninglessness, leading towards SCP Foundation personnel taking far greater risks than are necessary, while holding the belief that SCP-4006 will cover any mistakes of theirs.
I don't understand.
SCP-4006 is the phenomenon known as the Veil. This concludes today's lecture. Thank you for listening. If indeed you still are, I
understood what was happening until maybe about like the last like 2 minutes of the video, and then I had no idea what the F was happening. Okay, so this is a humanoid safe SCP, and I think I find those like really interesting. The fish emotes. You were asking about SCP-2000. SCP-2000 basically what I was saying being sucked in virtual reality. I mean, I'm gonna look it up after this one, because I had this one saved already. I'm sure this guy's done 2000, because it sounds really important. I don't remember all the numbers very well. I usually remember their names. Paint under the bridge.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-3471.
When you used to do this rolling
Object
thing.
class, safe. Special containment procedures. Due to its close proximity to civilian populations, a covert perimeter around SCP-3471 is to be upheld at all times by a minimum of 3 security personnel under the guise of historical landmark restoration efforts. Individuals attempting to enter the site without authorization from personnel with level 2 or higher clearance are to be apprehended.
Never mind.
Paintings received from SCP-3471-1 manifestations are to be kept in object storage lockers 4352 through 4355. Description: SCP-3471 is a cast iron tramway bridge across the River Cynon between Traycynon and Robertstown, Wales. The bridge, constructed in 1811, supports an 11.2-meter long deck composed of several iron plates, each measuring approximately 3 meters wide. Alongside the absence of wear and
is Deus Ex Machina. That makes sense. That makes sense. With how people are, like, talking about 2000 and, like, the past, like, few videos that we watched, that makes sense. Because we watched an SCP video that was about, like, these, like, angel things that were coming to, like, save the Earth, and they were like, yeah, and we accidentally, like, killed SCP-2000, so, like, we needed a backup plan. So, SCP-2000 being, like, a Deus Ex Machina makes a lot of sense. Because if people don't know what that is, it's like a trope. I'm making spaghetti. Lovely. It's a trope in literature, mostly, where, like, just by, like, happenstance, like, the protagonist will, like, get, like, the life-saving whatever it is, and so it's just, like, an act for, it's, like, I think it, like, directly translates to, like, the machine of God, or something like that. Yeah. Anyway.
tear expected from its
I'm
age,
sure you guys know what a Deus Ex Machina is.
SCP-3471's iron brackets and truss support beams display no signs of excessive rust or external damage, appearing to be well maintained despite its limited civilian presence before containment. It is unclear exactly when SCP-3471 began to showcase anomalous properties, though the earliest reports of manifestation
Now, it did
date
say this
back
one
to
was humanoid.
15 years following the
And
closure
I'm not
of
seeing
the
any
tramway.
humanoid things right now.
Should any individual attempt to cross SCP-3471, SCP-3471-1,
Ah, there's the, you know. Yeah, I'm not reading that. I have no idea what that says, man.
will manifest near the center of the deck, generally peering over the bridge railing. SCP-3471-1 appears to be an elderly Caucasian man, standing approximately 1.8 meters in height and wearing tattered articles of clothing. SCP-3471-1 also displays mannerisms and attributes akin to those affected by significant hearing loss, speaking only through sign language and being unaware of sounds made in its vicinity. In each manifestation, SCP-3471-1 is accompanied by a standard painting easel, a canvas, and a duffel bag, all of which materialize near SCP-3471-1's person. Though displaying distinguishable facial and bodily features, attempts to connect SCP-3471-1 to any known individual through facial recognition techniques or similar methods have proven unsuccessful. Notably, SCP-3471-1 only manifests completely when its materialization position is out of the field of view of any individuals present. However, viewing the position through indirect means does not prevent SCP-3471-1's manifestation. Due to SCP-3471-1's apparent hearing loss, subjects crossing SCP-3471 are capable of passing SCP-3471-1 without incident. leading to SCP-3471-1's dematerialization once the individual reaches the end of the deck. Should the crossing individual attempt interaction, SCP-3471-1 initially responds variably, most commonly acknowledging the subject's presence with a greeting and/or handshake. This interaction can continue comparatively to a typical conversation, depending on the subject's sign language comprehension. Otherwise, SCP-3471-1 will attempt to relay information non-verbally through gestures and expressions. Throughout the interaction, SCP-3471-1 will attempt to coax the subject into standing in its point of manifestation, making sure to keep the individual from moving from that position. If the subject complies with these coercions, SCP-3471-1 will step back to the easel and canvas, proceeding to withdraw acrylic paints, paintbrushes, and similar implements from within the accompanying duffel bag. Following this, SCP-3471-1 will begin to paint the subject
do you want to be
through
painted by
differing
the entity?
depictions
Because I
with
kind of
each
want to be painted
individual.
by the entity.
This
That kind of
painting
sounds
process
fun.
continues for varying amounts of time, and paintings produced by SCP-3471-1 showcase characteristics akin to the Impressionism art movement. Once the artwork is presumably completed, SCP-3471-1 will write a message on the back of the painted canvas with a charcoal pencil. The individual receiving the painting tends to interpret the message as relating to impactful events they've experienced. SCP-3471-1 will then proceed to secure the canvas with wax paper and string, and will attempt to give the completed painting to the subject. Individuals are capable of accepting or rejecting the painting, the latter of which resulting in little to no consequence with SCP-3471-1, typically expressing disappointment or understanding. In both cases, once the subject completely crosses SCP-3471, SCP-3471-1
Let the SCP do
will
anything to me?
dematerialize.
Now.
Addendum 3471-01.
Now.
SCP-3471 was discovered on 12/27/1950, following rumors circulating throughout Trisinan regarding the benevolent spirit of a painter haunting a nearby bridge. Town locals provided several possible identities of SCP-3471-1. Examples of such include the Impressionist painter Piero, the deceased town local Dewey, and a Celtic water spirit. These possible identities are still under investigation. Upon further questioning, town locals referred to a High Wolf who presumably had interacted with SCP-3471-1 the most frequently compared to other residents. Prior to SCP-3471's discovery, High Wolf had succumbed to congestive heart failure, dying in his home on 11/09/1950. Testing log 3471-231.
I do think it is kind of weird that the bridge is the anomaly, even though the bridge doesn't, like, do anything. Like, it's just the guy, right? Like, why?
3101. Date
36 minutes. 36
Subject,
minutes for what?
D5681. Brief background. Shot in the lower abdomen during arrest. Results. D5681 was able to effectively converse with SCP-3471-1, leading to minimal interaction. The painting received depicts D5681 on SCP-3471, leaning on the railing with his left hand pressed on his abdomen. The message reads, "The world has a funny way of putting things into balance through unpredictable means. Just remember that every action will bring forth a formidable reaction, no matter how small or significant that action may be."
What does that mean?
Test 3471-231-02.
The bridge doesn't age at all? Oh, yeah, I guess it's true. That's fair.
Subject.
The video is 36 minutes. And... do you want 200 plastic babies because I have some? No. But thank you, though.
D4903. Brief background. Escaped from a sinking cruise ship, equipped with a pen and notepad. Results. D4903 was able to more effectively communicate with SCP-3471-1. Despite this, SCP-3471-1 seemingly limited interaction, quickly gesturing D4903 towards its manifestation position. Notably, SCP-3471-1 appeared tense, displaying nervous mannerisms. The painting received depicts D-4903 on the riverbank with her feet submerged, and SCP-3471 displayed in the background. The message reads, "Upon the water's edge is a fine place to teeter, for even though you are safely planted with your hands in the dirt, you are ever reminded how easy it is to fall in. Simply remember to stand back when the water rises."
Oh, it's interesting that he painted himself.
3471
I put
to
them in my house and make my family
3103.
find them. Do it.
Date.
That sounds funny.
Subject, D-5172. Brief background. D-5172's daughter was born during his life sentence, equipped with a pen, notepad, and interview questions. Results. With the notepad and pen, D-5172 was able to communicate with SCP-3471-1. No relevant information regarding the interview questions was ascertained from SCP-3471-1, with it once again attempting to limit interaction and appearing tense. The painting received depicts D-5172 on SCP-3471 with a child resting on his shoulders. The message reads, "Children are a precious thing of pure innocence and truth, but one cannot always be there for them. Do not be saddened, for more importantly, a wondrous soul has been brought into this world, given the chance to live." Notes. Perhaps SCP-3471-1 is purposefully avoiding answering the questions posed by the D-Class due to their more antagonistic backgrounds. I wouldn't blame it. In any case, I'm calling for a few volunteers from the research staff to participate in the coming tests. From what we've gathered so far, I doubt any of you will be in harm's way, so I better start seeing names on the list. Dr. Kovton.
That guy was just like, yeah, guys, I mean, like, it's been perfectly safe so far. Like, nothing's happened. Like, it's only an SCP. It's... What could possibly go wrong?
Test 3471 to 3104. Date. Subject, researcher Eleanora Mason. Brief background. Father killed in a double homicide, equipped with a pen, notepad, and interview questions. Results. Upon awareness of researcher Mason's presence, SCP-3471-1 noticeably displayed more relaxed mannerisms, wherein it attempted to elongate the interaction compared to previous tests. Limited information was garnered regarding the interview questions, however, with SCP-3471-1 attempting to divert the line of conversation towards stories concerning other individuals that have crossed SCP-3471. The painting received depicts researcher Mason on SCP-3471 peering into the water with an older man standing next to her in the reflections. Message reads, "Death is part of life, coming in many forms and leaving tragedy in its wake, but it is not an end. Though the departed may be gone, their memory still lives on, making them immortal beyond measure." Notes. We're getting it to talk, that's for sure, but it doesn't seem to be entirely comfortable yet. Hortzman, since you know sign language, I suggest you participate in the next test. Perhaps through more direct communication, it will be more compelled to share information. Dr. Kovton.
That's really
Test 3471 to 3105. Date. Subject, researcher Piers Hortzman. Brief background. Survived SCP breach from containment. Is able to communicate through sign language and was provided interview questions. Results. As researcher Hortzman approached SCP-3471, SCP-3471-1 did not manifest. Instead, a duffel bag, presumably the same bag associated with SCP-3471-1, materialized. Upon further inspection, the bag was found containing painting implements and a leather-bound journal. Researcher Hortzman attempted to recover this bag from SCP-3471, but upon reaching the end of the deck, the bag and its contents, excluding the journal, dematerialized. Afterward, SCP-3471-1 failed to manifest during following tests for a 3-week period, after which it continued to materialize as expected. Attempts to garner information from SCP-3471-1 regarding the absence or the journal have thus far resulted in failure. Addendum 3471-02. Following Test 3471 to 3105, a leather-bound journal was recovered on SCP-3471. Irrelevant entries have been excluded. Recovered document 3471.
Okay, is anything irrelevant though? It's just like irrelevant entries are excluded. It's like, okay, but like you are reading a journal from an entity. Is really anything irrelevant? Like, let's be real here. Hello, Lucifer.
01.
The 17th of September, 1950. It's strange to be back here again. To be honest,
God,
I never thought I'd see this house again. Of course, my sister had to bring this place up with the doctor. Quiet and peaceful, and full of memories I wanted to hear. She is right, though, whether I agree with her or not. She's supposed to be coming here later in the week, to keep an eye on me and make sure I don't die in the middle of the night. The things a heart problem will bring upon you. Still, I have a few days before she gets her motherly hands all over me. She's always been that kind of person, for better or worse. But enough on the future. Something unexpected did happen today.
Oh.
Otherwise, this entry would be rather pointless. I decided to take a walk. Breathing in the air and getting all the memories to flow in now instead of later. On this walk, I came to that old bridge where the trams used to run, and this place had some impact on the rest of the world. There was this old man out on the bridge looking over the railings. He seemed like one of the wistful types, taking in nature and being at peace with the world and all that. I'm not quite sure what came over me, but I felt like striking up a conversation with this complete stranger.
That's a weird
And I
impulse.
must say, it wasn't very successful. I think the man's deaf or extremely hard of hearing. The fool only realized I was there when I tapped his shoulder. He does seem nice enough, however. Gave a smile, shook my hand firmly, and got a good uncomfortable look at my face. He tried talking to me in signs, but I don't know any of it. And I'm sure he realized that rather quickly. Still, though it wasn't much of a conversation, it was interesting. Next time I take a walk, I should probably bring a notepad and a pen, just in case.
You know, like this journal.
18th of September, 1950. It hasn't even been an entire day, and I'm already having nightmares. I knew eventually they would start, but I did not expect them to occur the night of my arrival. They were quite terrible as well. Visceral, even. Waking up, I could hardly breathe. If I persist, Marie won't ever take her eyes off me, and this place will truly become a living hell.